and then I'll split it. Awesome. So fun.
Probably be a little closer, actually.
BBA, take one.
You're hilarious.
Person from God. No. Take one.
Brad, you're funny. Sometimes. When you want to be.
Okay. It's not my guy says. Cool. So, each question, 10-15 seconds. What was your experience?
Okay.
And so, first two, I'll do level 1. And just bring up each day really quick and let you speak.
Mm-hmm.
So level 1 was like rackets and false rewards, red black. My bad, day 1. Day 2 was victim versus responsibility in the mountain exercise. So I'll just do it day by day and I'll mark it. Cool. So your experience regarding level 1, day 1, rackets and false rewards, and the red black game.
Learning about what my rackets were and how different aspects of myself were showing up in life, and how I could really get around any emotional situation that was coming up in my life that was preventing me from achieving my goals was really impactful. And the red-black game...
You can't talk about the games.
Oh, well, so then ask an actual question.
I gotta ask, what was your experience?
Oh.
So I'm just gonna tell you like what we did that day.
Okay.
So I mean, it was awesome up to like the red black game. You're gonna have to talk about it. So I can't bring up the experience. So I was just like, and then I learned how do I think and act in the world like that versus being selfish versus making a real world impact.
That makes sense.
Cool. Day 2 was victim versus responsibility and the mountain meditation.
I think one of the most impactful things about the entire weekend was coming out of one of the processes and really feeling as though I'd discovered the core limiting belief that was holding me back in every area of my life, that was running through my mind consistently and sabotaging everything that I was trying to do, which was essentially that I didn't deserve to have whatever it is I was trying to create, attract, achieve in my life. And being able to discover that at the core of my being shifted everything in my life and has given me more freedom than I could ever imagine possible.
I get to wave my hand in front of it to let me know that when I do a new one. It's like, what is this? Cool. Day 3 was have to, choose to.
Learning the power of choice and that I truly have control in every aspect of my life has given me the ability to clearly make decisions and take control of the areas of my life that I thought were not in my control, which allows me to create pretty much anything I want.
Boom. Level 2 was all about vision, breakthrough, contribution, and feedback. Day 1, feedback arc.
Having the unconscious parts of myself reflected back to me from the members of my team and trainers was profoundly impactful and allowed me to see the areas that I was still playing small in life and the areas where I was truly holding myself back, and having major breakthroughs in those areas has given me a different perspective on how I show up in the world.
Day 2 was lifeboat. Oh my gosh, when I lifeboat, it was a life-changing experience. When the man in black comes to walk around you and you get to see him in the room, it is the most rewarding thing you could ever ask for.
I think one of the most impactful moments of level 2 was really having my eyes opened to the impact that I was having on other people and how I was connecting with people, or my lack of connection with the people around me. And I truly believed up until that point that I was a very connecting person and that I had empathy for the people around me and that I showed up in a particular way, and to see that wasn't necessarily true allowed me to reassess how I communicate and connect with people, which has given me a deeper sense of connection to myself and the world around me.
Boom. Day 3, contract, stretch exercise.
Oh. Wow, that was probably the most impactful moment of this entire process. It was truly life-changing. Being able to have reflected back to me the leader that others saw in me and to own that part of myself has been the biggest shift in my life up until this point, and was the most impactful part of this entire process.
Especially, it was fucking amazing. Such a shift. It is true, like we just said. It's like what was reflected back to me, and I'm like, holy shit.
It was you writing it on your board. Like, that shifted everything for me, because I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I get that some of the people in this room and the trainers see something in me, but then other people in my life see it in me, and Chrissy knew it, and Catherine knew it, and you knew it, and I was like, how am I not seeing this in myself? Yes. How is everybody else in my life seeing the leader that's in me, and how am I not believing that about myself?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Crazy.
It's right. Everyone did. So with you.
Crazy, all right. Crazy.
So, level 3, summaries, life being an enrollment game.
So that's probably...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just realized you didn't go all the way through level 3, but it doesn't matter. No, so I'll just ask what I asked. So life being an enrollment game.
I feel like in life we have a perception about what enrollment is and what it means to be enrolling and be a leader. And when you truly step into level 3 and into what leadership actually is, you realize that it's more about the ways that you're being in the world than anything else. And that is a profound shift in how you influence and impact the world around you. And it's been an incredible learning lesson for me.
Your experience so far with PSP, and I remember what I wrote down. Distressing, engaging, yeah. It's your experience with your own personal goals and visions being set at level 3.
Having the clarity of having my goals and visions in life mapped out before me, and having the support of the seniors and the trainers to really show me how to get there and to hold me accountable to that, and have all of the team around me to hold me accountable to that, means that I'm achieving things in my life now that I had once only dreamed were possible, and I'm achieving them in half the time. And the results are phenomenal and incredibly impactful for both myself and everybody around me. So I can't say enough about how incredibly powerful the process is.
Now tap that same question into your experience with contribution. The contribution process, CSP.
I feel like I thought I was a very giving person until I went through this, and then I realized that I'm really only giving a very small percentage of what I'm able to give in the world, and that I had up until this point actually found it quite uncomfortable to ask for things, not just for myself but for others, and being in contribution is so different from what I imagined it to be, and there's no doubt that going through this is allowing me to step into a greater level of contribution and impact in the world.
And I guess I'll let you ask your own question. Is there a unique topic, or we could both hop into it really quick, of like what Evan brought into it? Is like, what is it like to be in relationship with someone who's gone through the process? Or do you want your own individual one?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I realized very early on in this process was that being in relationship with anybody, having gone through the process or being in the process, you start to realize that all of the people in your life, whether it's business partners or romantic partners or your kids, anyone around you, how valuable it is to your communication and the depth of your connection to be able to, and how you relate to one another, and having the same language and the same ability to work through whatever's coming up in the moment, so that you can be clear about how you're interacting and connecting with them, and so that you both get what you need out of it. In my world, it's a non-negotiable now, and I see the impact that it has on relationships across the board in my life and in the people's lives around me, and watching other people who are in relationship go through it. It's probably one of the most powerful tools for relationship of any kind.
And I want to piggyback off that because we're honing in on entrepreneurs and teams and people
Yeah.
make a real world impact. So now your experience with Ryan and the fact that like you enrolled him into this, like just play with that. The shift, the
Yeah.
start. Like where were you before, middle, after? What's happening now?
It's phenomenal. Like being able to enroll my business partner into this and having him go through the process and having him step into what I saw for him and the possibilities that I really truly saw in his life of like the depth of leadership that he could step into and the amount of impact that he can create, and like really expanding his potential, like seeing him go from, you know, really operating at like 50% of his capacity to now like really operating at a much, much higher level, and being so much more committed to his own well-being and so much more committed to his own potential. Like that gets to create a completely different level of impact in our clients' lives, and it completely transforms our relationship and our ability to work together with ease. And it's every single person on our team now gets to go through this as well because of that.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true. We're like, Chris is going.
Yeah.
He's going to be in a D24.